Today we have a great guest by the name of Stephan Schenk. He is the founder and CEO of a great company called Stapelstein, which is based in Germany. And I got a couple quick notes about Stephan before we kick it off. Stephan is the founder of Stapelstein, a 100% recyclable, stackable, toy promoting movement and open-ended play for the whole family. It sold over it sold over 1 million units. Stapelstein has made Good Housekeeping Best Toys of 2024. And Stefan's also on Forbes 30 Under 30, which is quite the accomplishment, if you ask me. And, I guess this is one of your different startups in the sense that it's not all software. It's got hardware and children involved, and you can't go wrong with children. So, Stephan, welcome to the podcast today, and it's great to have you here.
Hey, great meeting you. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, absolutely. How do you say hi in Germany?
Hallo. We
Hallo.
say hallo. Yeah.
Hallo. H-A-L-O, right?
Hallo, but we also say hi, so that's fine.
That's cool, man. Yeah. I guess, Stephan, I like to ask guests to tell us a little bit about themselves, I guess. Where did you grow up, and were you always a German by birth and all that?
Yeah, I grew up in the southern part of Germany, close to Stuttgart. Some of you might know the city from they have a quite good football team. And this is a big topic here in Germany, playing football or soccer, as you would say. And I played soccer myself quite some time, so I was always connected to movement and sports. But I was lacking movement myself when I was joining kindergarten and school. So I was kind of experiencing a problem that I later, during my studies, then was researching on. And I was shocked by the fact that children move way too little or too less. And by fact, 80% of the children are not reaching the minimum quantity of movement time that is recommended by the World Health Organization. So I was trying to change something about that, and I was turning on my brain to design a tool that creates intuitive and playful movement opportunities for kids at every age and also adults, so they can play together.
I saw the product. It seems like it's like a pillow, but also a stepping stool. Can you tell us a little bit about more of like what the main consumer buys from you guys?
I think people love it for its open-endedness, so it's not limited to a certain way of usage. Obviously, you can stack it to build towers and destroy them again. The material is super safe, so it doesn't matter if it falls down. It doesn't hurt, it doesn't destroy anything. It's super sturdy though, so it lasts for generations. But I think as a starting point, I think people love the game Floor is Lava, and you can totally play with our elements, and people love to play with it because you literally have this stepping stones in your room, and children love to hop from one to the other, and you have the different colors. You can even tell you're not allowed to step on the red or the blue, right? You can really play with the colors and use them as variables to introduce new rules to the game, which I love. So we combined this element, this form that is open-ended and that allows kids to step onto it, or if they turn it around, they can collect things. And then we introduce the colors to it, and by these very simple different qualities the product has, we kind of created this very versatile tool that kids at their different development phases can interpret in very different ways, and that's what they love about it. And that's why I think people buy us most, because it's as versatile. And I think people are also thrilled that our products are as beautiful. So we try to design our products child-friendly but not childish. So you would not directly see it's like a cheap, China toy, a trash toy, but it's really a highest quality, premium quality in fact, best quality that you can find in this material. So we would not compromise in quality. We really want to reintroduce a new standard of material and aesthetic quality to the world of kids, the environments kids are growing up.
Is it? I got a couple, I guess, tangents to go on there. I have a nephew who's technically underneath. He's like 8, I think. I don't remember. But what age group is this for? Is this more for like your 2-year-old to 5-year-old, or is it more like 2 to 10? Or
most of our customers are buying it already for the first birthday of their kids, because that's the moment when most of the kids would start like walking around, and as soon as they do and stand on their own feet, they are able to also hold our elements and play with it. And the play and the way they play with our elements really changes over time. So it grows with the kids until they're adults, actually. So and on the way of growing, they first have this cross motor play, and later they get more like have these refined movements and better skills of balancing, and at some point they would use it as a dynamic stool. So it really serves so many needs you have as a kid, but also as in your youth. And we also observe the parents that would also use it for their needs and their habits at home. So it's really for the whole family and for all people. It's a very inclusive toy.
I've gotta buy one too. Is it for only not European people, but like, is it only sold in Europe, or is it sold also in Asia and China, or like everywhere else in the world?
Basically, we sell in more than 60 countries, so it's a global movement that we try to get rolling. We have our major markets in Europe, yes. Germany, Austria, but also the Netherlands, Belgium are strong markets for us, and people are really excited about our brand. So we also decided to found a subsidiary in the US. So we also have a US entity, and we have 2 warehouses there. So we are having a proper setup in the US as well, and this is a clear focus market for us. So we're happy to also introduce this new way of playing and moving to your crowd.
Yeah. Well, Stephan, I wrote this book. It's called Startup Mindsets, and then like it also says a blueprint to thrive in an innovation-driven, globally connected world. And yeah, I mean, for you going global with your product, was that something that you always thought of, or would it just be better to keep it in one geography, because maybe that way, you don't know what you're getting into, right, when you go into a different country with different consumers and all?
For sure, there's some uncertainty, but our purpose is a global purpose, because we want to move kids. We want to tackle the problem of the lack of movement, and this is not a problem that is limited to German-speaking countries or Europe. It is really a global problem, especially in developed countries where we have these public institutions that mainly force kids to sit still. So we want, and now that kids are spending more and more time in front of their screens, they even move less than ever. So we want to change something about that, and we create beautiful and highly impactful tools for that. And I think people all around the world are valuing our design and our concept for that. So I think we don't want to limit ourselves to any geographical kind of boundary, but really try to be available as broadly and as globally as possible.
So Stephan, I got another question to ask. You have kids personally, right? I'm assuming, yeah?
I do not.
You do not?
Surprising. People mostly think I have kids, but the thing is, I founded my company at the age of 21, so pretty early. So I was studying before and during that time, and since I was founding the company, this was my baby. So I did not really have time to found my own family with my partner, even though we would love to. And I love kids. I mean, kids are amazing. They're the creatures on earth. They're so curious. They're my biggest inspiration source. So it would be a dream to be a father at some point. But for now, my child is my company, and I'm taking highest care of it.
I got a child too. It's just a book form. So, but
Awesome.
oh, thank you. But what I was gonna ask you was, did you so you got the inspiration from, was it so 8 years ago? It would have been 2017, right, or something like that. Would it have was the world? Did you see that nothing like this existed before, right? Because I'm sure there's tools and pillows and things like that. Did that?
Yeah, there were no solutions I would personally buy for my kids if I would have them, because I think design-wise, aesthetic-wise, and in terms of the sustainability and the versatility of the product, there's nothing that compares. Now there is like other products and brands that try to lean into our concept, but back in the days, there were some stepping stones, yes, but they were very limited and non-sustainable, to my opinion. And the concept that we introduced, the materials that we use, are just like a new way of tool in that category, or we created our own category. So I would say we basically innovated a whole new, or pioneered a whole new category of play. That's why I think it was that there was nothing really that inspired me as a role model. It was more like the purpose I was doing it for was my inspiration and my source of creativity to create that.
What does Stapelstein mean? What does that mean? Does that mean
it literally means stacking stone? And what I wanted to create with that word is I wanted to create a picture when you read the name, and that you already have a visual idea of how it could look like. And if you have a look on our trademarks, we have this logo that also symbolizes one of these elements, and this is the equivalent to the name of Stapelstein. So the brand is pretty like aligned with the name and the experience. And I also wanted to find a name that kids are able to pronounce and that they want to use while playing it. So it was important to find a very authentic and clear name for the tool. Yes, I know that internationally it's kind of harder to pronounce and to use it, but it's fun because I really love the different ways people pronounce it, and it also kind of tells the story of our philosophy of play, that there is not a right or wrong to use our product. So there's also not a right or wrong to pronounce our name. So I hope that people in the US are also having a good time trying to pronounce our name.
Man, can you describe to me what it feels like to sit or stand on an action set?
It feels it depends on the level of your balance and your fitness. I mean, it depends on the way you stand on it. You can stand on it with one leg or two, and you can use other elements to put your hands on, so you can do your push-ups on them. So it's really a multifunctional tool that you can use in so many ways, and it really depends on how you encounter the product in order to get the feeling, the vibe that comes up while using it. So I would really recommend trying it out yourself, or asking the kids how it feels. I guess it's fun. Maybe the feeling fun is the best way to describe it.
I'd love to jump into maybe a little bit more business questions. I do have a few more just general product questions, and also cool things to say about the thing you invented. Did you what's it called? When you created the product, did you think that it would be something that people would like at first, or were you kind of unsure with that? It's hard for something to catch on, right? Like it's like
no, I think I love your question, because I think there's many founders and creators that are unsure if people would like their art, especially in music or general art. I think it's always like you express yourself and then people are rating it in a way, or they look at it and then they have their opinion on things. But the thing is that I created these tools in order to serve the kids. It's more like I was designing it not for my own sake, but for kids, people that want to play and move. And I was designing it in a way that it really follows perfect geometry and certain phenomena of design, that it kind of in the end is a very elegant shape that is not even really questionable, because it follows certain rules that are just how do you say, universal. So I was super sure that the design itself is clean and is very how do you, I'm missing this word, like slick.
Yeah,
Very
slick.
And then when I had my first prototypes, I saw that kids would enjoy it just like for hours, and they would not stop playing and encountering the product and using it in so many ways. So I knew it works with kids and kids love it. So there was not really this question of doubt if people like it or not. I was pretty convinced that kids love it, no matter how old they are, no matter where they live on the globe. And
Yeah.
that's why I was also as brave to found my company back in the days at the age of 21 and go all in. But 2 years later, after I finished my studies.
What does somebody need to major in to do something like a Stapelstein? Did you get like a business degree or like a engineering degree? Or?
I was not founding a company to do business. I was founding a company because I wanted to bring this idea to the world. But what I studied was product design, so I'm a designer. And by growing up in an educator's family, I think I brought also this pedagogical perspective into. So I was combining my personal background and the expertise that I grew up with my design skills and my fascination for design and aesthetics.
I got a question. So it's 200. How much does a regular set cost if somebody wants to purchase? I guess in the US and in euros. I guess, like, how much would it cost?
In euros, it would. I mean, our best sellers are around 180 euros, but in the US, it's like some 200 something, depending on the set that you're choosing, if you want the balance board coming with it or not. But roughly 200 to 300 euros, but you're all set then. You have so many things in one product. I don't want to sell it right now, like it's not to sell it now. It's just like often people are thinking it's kind of a high-priced product because they're used to the cheap China toys.
Oh yeah, the Chinese toys.
And I think there's some great ones too, but we really try to rethink the whole business we do and the industry that we are in order to do things responsibly, differently, thoughtful, to create the best possible experience for kids, families, and people of all ages generally.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was going to sleep last night, and I was watching Donald Trump on YouTube. He was talking about how the tariffs are affecting goods from China, and also he was saying maybe children don't need 40 dolls, they just need 2. And I love the idea that you guys are bringing a toy into children's lives, and it's not a digital toy where their eyes are going to get hurt, or I guess they're going to be exposed to internet too early in their life, right?
Yeah.
Have you heard any feedback from families or kids themselves about the stuff you guys created and all?
Yeah, we get feedback every day. They are happy. They love our product. We are a love brand, especially in Europe. They go crazy about our brand. They really fall in love with the product because they don't expect it to have such an huge impact on their daily lives and on their kids playing with it all day long for weeks, months, years, through their whole life, basically.
I'm reading that it's indoors and outdoors, so I guess this also comes in. You could bring it wherever you want, right? Is it heavy now? I got a question.
It's super light.
Super light.
You cannot imagine how light it is. It is super light but very sturdy. So one element only weighs 180 grams. Hard to now calculate your
Pounds.
yeah, pound, but it's super light. It's like one bar of chocolate or two, something like that, and then it holds 1,000 times its own weight. So it holds 180 kilograms, which is like the two of us together.
Yeah. Okay, I gotta switch to the business questions. I think people are gonna ask, why did I not ask you anything related to that? But I guess like when it comes to making a hardware product, how does somebody go about that? Do they put up their savings, or like would you say you got a loan or venture capital, or?
I founded the company with 2 business angels, and they put some money into the company that I could initially do the prototyping and build the first tools to manufacture the product.
Oh wow. How much does it cost? I guess like I'm not trying to like. Does that cost a lot of money up front to kind of come up with a minimum viable product, or does that like?
Yeah, especially in this industry, because you cannot really prototype it with a 3D printer or something. You really need the actual material and the actual color to have the full experience. So you need tooling, which costs a lot of money. And I was using basically I would say 50 to 80,000 euros to start the whole thing, and from there I was bootstrapping the whole business until today, where we are a multi-million revenue business globally.
I saw that. Congrats on that. That's really cool. What I was going to ask you next was what is it called? What kind of personal challenges do you think you overcame or still face today when it comes to running this company and all that?
Well, running a company is sometimes quite tough, right? It means to also build a team you can trust and you love working with. And building a team is a whole new thing. It's a very different thing to designing a product. So I needed to grow into becoming a good leader and a good CEO and strategist for the whole business. Yeah, from just by doing it without learning it. And I think this was kind of a challenge. And today I think I love my job. I love the visionary work, but sometimes it's a lot of work, right? So you need to find the right balance, and you need to also take care of yourself and your well-being. And that's what I try when it gets tough sometimes. I think we're doing quite well at Stapelstein.
Stapelstein. Yeah. You guys have a flagship store, right, in Berlin or something? I read.
It's our first flagship store, and it's amazing. People love it. We have special editions there. People go crazy about it. They travel from other countries to get the special editions there. And we have finally like a space where we can invite people and we can share our story authentically, face to face. So I think not only for us as a company, for the whole industry of play, it is kind of a very important space, because it brings play into the public space and room. So we also remind people to think about play and to think about the importance of movement, and we try to inspire them in our space. So I think it's a very valuable step that not only helps us as a company, but also the people living there in Berlin or coming and traveling to Berlin.
Before the flagship store, it was all e-commerce, or was it all?
No, yeah, mostly e-commerce, but also B2B partners that would sell our products in their stores.
Oh wow, yeah, no, that's crazy to hear that. Was getting those B2B partners a challenge for you, or did they just fall in love immediately with the?
So we visiting fairs, and we would like get to know our first B2B partners by going to these fairs and exhibiting our product. So it was this measure that we took to get in touch with them. And the other thing was that we were building a very social media presence from the very beginning. And my partner, my co-founder, really was taking care of that. And through that, we were connected with the first influencers, and the influencers then showed our product and spread the word and their love for the product and the brand. So through the influencers, other B2B partners got to know our brand, and they then reached out to us in order to sell our product and buy it from us and resell it.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay, a couple quick other things here, Nathan. I mean, sorry, Stefan. Or what do you love about your job? I think it's like you see a lot of the play and the joy, but maybe there's a lot of the stress and all that stuff too, like of like making sure you hit, revenue goals or.
Yeah. So I don't really care about revenue. I mean, it's an important KPI for us because it kind of tells how many units we sold, and the more units we sell, the more kids can play and move with the product. So I love the KPI kind of quality of revenue, but what really matters to me is like bringing kids and families and people of all ages into this moment of play and movement and playful movement, which is our positioning. This is our core centerpiece. So this is really my motivation. I love the topic and the whole of play. I love movement, and combining both is just like magic for me as a designer and as a person that is interested into these topics. So I could not in a better field of work myself at this point.
That's awesome. I guess what are your ambitions when it comes to Stapelstein? Is it you already feel like you hit the success and it's just everything's?
No, I think we should have way more impact, because the problem is rising. Like the problem of the lack of movement is rising faster than we are growing. So we should keep up with the pace of the leg movement. So this is kind of our motivation. So the faster we grow and our impact, the better. So our ambition is to scale our sales and volume of production and distribution of product globally, but also to create a very that creates the best possible product experience or user experience with our product. And I think we're getting there. So it's not only the one element that I think most people know, our original Stapelstein. It is really like the combination of the original, the board, the insides, which are amazing for play and water and sound games. But also a new product will follow this year, which then creates a whole new dynamic sitting experience. So you have like your dynamic seating elements with you by buying into Stapelstein. You have like this full range and bouquet of open-ended play, dynamic seating, but also a fitness tool at home with only one system or product that you're choosing and that you love having around you, that inspires you every day. So I really create the best possible product experience that reminds you to play in every day.
Yeah. Do you the product is you're also at work and people at work are just jumping and playing Floor is Lava, or how is that?
Every day I'm playing
every day
Floor is Lava every day. No, I use it for fitness. For my yoga, to do like more challenging stretches, or like to go on, I would go on the board and do my stretching, but I also sit on it every day. Now I'm in like a hotel, so I don't have elements with me, but like usually on a daily basis I have my dynamic stool built from our elements, which is a great experience.
Well, Stefan, what's your take on if people say this is like too expensive, or it's like, like not necessarily needed, right? Like, have you ever heard? I'm sure that happens too, right?
I mean, we offer a great solution for the people that are willing to invest in well-being and their happiness. And if people are not ready to invest in these qualities, I'm okay.
I like it, man. I just think that in the US, right, I interview a lot of startups from the US or even Asia lately. So it's always about this capitalistic, take on success, right? But I think like what you do is really, really unique and also refreshing to see that, the success of a product isn't measured by buys. It's more about like the people who use it and what they get out of it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We are in that sense, we are a steward-owned company, which means that we are kind of a foundation, meaning that all the revenues and the not would better say the profits that we create are reinvested into our purpose, so we cannot take it out. It's kind of I know when I tell this story in the US, people are irritated because it's a very capitalistic country, and I think that's okay. It also drives a lot of innovation, but I think innovation can also go along with with thoughtful and a sustainable business. So we try to be as sustainable, not only in terms of our ecological footprint, but also the way we work with people in this, like the social sustainability, but also the economical sustainability. So it is to create term impact and purpose, not about short-term revenues or profits. So I was that. I created this product because of a certain purpose and a problem that we want to solve. That's the story, and that's the only goal that we follow. Of course, we must be a healthy business in order to fulfill this purpose. But making money is not, it's not why we founded this company. So it's just like a medium to fulfill and to exist within system, but it's not our focus.
No, very cool. I think to be more like that too, even when it comes to working a job, right? Is that like the people you hire? You're not for the money, right? You're for the experience.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting. Like I would answer it with yes, but I know that there's also people within our company that also at least partly doing it for the money, and that's okay, because they also need to pay for their rent and for their food, and that's how, as we as a company need the money to pay for all the things that we need to pay for in order to run the company. So that's okay, but I think the major reason to work for our company and is again, you are convinced that we are doing the right thing for the people, and that you're enjoying working with the people in the team, and that you're motivated to contribute to this purpose of like bringing people into playful movement, and bringing back joy of playful movement into the lives. So yeah, I think the major part should be the motivation and the purpose, and then of course our employees are also earning fair.
You're right.
Fair amount of money. Yeah.
No, that's an amazing point. Okay, a couple quick last things here, Stephan. Or did you imagine that the company would grow to this height, or was it just like a general just play see how it goes? Or
so this is kind of like if you would ask a child if it imagined to grow to this age or to this size or whatever, or if they grow that tall, I don't think that they really thought about it. They just knew they want to grow. A child every day wants to grow in a certain way, because it's just, and wants to learn new skills and to develop their body, and this was kind of the way I see I never thought about if we certain size of revenue. It was really about, I was just willing to grow this impact and the purpose. So it was just like, by following this motivation, we were naturally growing. But I never whenever we are able to grow as much, I could see us becoming bigger than Lego. I would not have a problem with that, But if it's not, if it's okay. Just like I don't really think about this quantitative goals. It's more like there a reason for our purpose in this world, and I think I truly believe yes, there is, and the more we grow, the better. But it's not a stake in itself. In itself, it's really about like the market, our performance in a way, and so far we do well. And I hope we can increase our performance and our impact even more in the future.
Would you say, Stefan, I've never been to Germany, but would you say like that's kind of not common, more of like is that more than most people think to think like that? Or is that like a European thing? Or?
Well, I think in Germany, in Europe, they're kind of a different mindset to, at least to people and the culture encountered in the US. I think there's amazing companies in the US that are also following these principles, like Patagonia does. They just also into steward ownership, which I think is amazing. So I don't. It's about like where you're coming, but in general, yes. In Germany, there's a group of people that are after sustainable growth, sustainable business, and sustainable production things. And very I think principles of doing things in a sustainable way. So there's a higher chance maybe to find these kind of businesses in Europe, but I think you can do it all over the world. And
could you tell me what the material is? I guess just a couple last things that popped in was like what kind of is that like?
No, it's not cotton. It's but it would be maybe to have it in cotton. Surface at least. It would be the material polypropylene. So it's a highly efficient plastic that we expand with pure water steam, no plasticizers or something. It's a pure polypropylene product which is expanded, so it's super light. We need less material and we can recycle it. It's a monomaterial, so we keep it in cycles, which makes it super sustainable and super durable. Yeah.
How did you go about like sourcing that material? Was it, you went through like trying bamboo first, or like, I don't know, something that was not that?
I was doing a quite extensive on different materials. And this was the number one material that fulfilled the essential need, having a very lightweight material, but also a very sturdy, durable material, and then sustainable, recyclable material. And this material really met all the qualities that I was searching for. And then I was talking to some factories that were able to produce it, and eventually found the world-leading manufacturer in terms of quality and innovation in that field. So we're still producing all our products in Germany at the highest standard possible in the most sustainable manufacturing facility for EPP, and we're super proud on that.
That's awesome. Do you have like a funny story, not a funny story, but like a favorite moment when you were putting this whole thing together? Like, was it because with me, like, I have a book, and somebody told me yesterday or last week about the feedback, like, oh, I really loved how you were vulnerable and you told me this and that, and you acted, you portrayed like a really good character, whatever it might have been. But like for you, like somebody who has like a product in the world like that, is it like a favorite moment in the history of this Stapelstein that you have to tell us about?
Favorite moment,
or one that stands out that, or just.
I think the moment when we turned into steward ownership was amazing, and the that we're able to do it by being as successful to pay for the transition was a huge moment for us. It was more like this emotional moment because we were finally a free company. We were not like distracted from investor interests Oh,
I see.
Like this kept mainly capitalistic perspective on business, but we could really truly follow our original purpose. I think this was a big moment, and I can remember it very clearly. But on an everyday basis, the best thing about it is to see the kids playing, and this is really like the most fun and the most motivating part of it. And you can truly, or I can tell that they would play with it so differently, and every time can see new things happening with it, even though the product stays the same. These are fun moments. Yeah.
Couple last things here, Stefan. Are like when it comes to kids and technology, do you think it's more of a detriment to have them on an iPad? Or I mean, because sometimes it's overuse, right? And then you don't really get to develop maybe their childhood like social skills if it's playing with other kids on this type of space or anything like that. What's your ideas there?
I think we should not be black and white about this topic. There's some, like we all use our devices, like our iPhones and iPads and stuff. So it would be the wrong way of telling kids to tell they are not allowed to do it, because they naturally are interested in the things that we do. But we also have the responsibility to create even more attractive opportunities to move and play that are naturally more attractive to them, because they can use all of their senses, not only the visual ones, in order to have them in their physical and skills. I truly kids should not spend too much time on their screens, but also we as adults accompanying the kids while they're during their development, we should also not spend too much time on our screens, because they need our attention. And so I think it's not only a question of the time kids spend on the phones and the devices. It's a whole system surrounding the kid, and the people surrounding the kid during their development that should not spend as much time on the screen.
I like that answer. Yeah, I concerned with the screen too. It's really consuming more of it's than you're consuming it.
Yeah.
Okay, last couple questions. I know I said that earlier, but Stefan, what was your first job that you ever had?
My first
job, yeah, if you ever had one that wasn't Stapelstein.
Okay, that's a good question. So my very first job, but that's maybe not the funniest, I can tell. My very first job was just like delivering newspapers. And my second was like kind of a carpenter job. And then the third was funny. It was like selling ice cream on festivals. So this was fun.
Would you say that those jobs prepared you for this job?
Selling ice cream on festivals kind of, you need to be confidence.
Yeah, you do.
Maybe that may have contributed to my self-confidence. But I think it was more my hobbies that were contributing to my skill set and mindset. So I was playing drums during my childhood and youth, and I was founding band, and we were playing every week, and we organized also concerts, and we recorded the first album. So it was always about creating something, and to also talk to people in order to get things done, and to grow as a band. So I think this was the first project that really taught me how to create your own baby, your own thing, to really an idea and bring it to reality and translate it to reality. And back in the days it was music, and now I'm doing my products, open-ended, playful movement. So
yeah.
There's some similarities.
Next question, last couple ones is what's your favorite food? I know Germany has some good tasting delicacies. So do you have any favorite food? Are you vegetarian?
I prefer the Vietnamese food.
The Vietnamese food, huh?
Vietnamese food. Yeah, I love all these soups that they're
right.
doing amazingly. Yeah, so I'm into.
Okay, okay. They got beer though in Germany, right? Like that's one of the
Yeah,
best.
beer is amazing. That's true.
What,
We have very good beer.
and is it a tradition there? Like what's something that outsiders should know about Germany, right? Like if they've never been or, want to go.
Yeah, I mean we great. You know pretzel.
Oh yeah,
Pretzel.
yeah.
So like you cannot compare this kind of like the pretzels that you would get in the US with the ones that we have in Germany, especially in the southern part. Yeah, like this is something very special. I really enjoy.
Oh man, that's cool. Okay, a couple last questions here, Nate. Stefan, or if you had to tell us what your startup mindset is, what would you want us to hear, or what do you want us to know?
So my mindset is to follow your authentic purpose of the idea that motivated and initiated the whole thing, and to not get distracted by any other things that are coming or attract along the way, but really sticking to the original purpose. And of course you at some point need to change your product and the way you talk to the market and to the people, to your customers, but to really do business for a good reason and not for the sake of money itself.
I love that, man. Yeah, we need people to hear that more, because I think a lot of people go to work for, well, I mean, that's a big opposite perspective than a lot of people, but I totally support statement for sure.
I mean, the thing is that even people that are like doing their work for the money, if they would dig a bit deeper, they would understand that the work they're doing is only existing but because there's a need on the other side. Someone needs it. So there is a good reason for their work. There is a purpose. And if you want it or not, if you work for something, there's some kind of purpose. So I think it's first it's connect or to try to connect to the purpose of your work that you're doing. And the best way is if you can truly like stand behind this purpose. So I would just encourage like the people to think about what they can stand behind and what they want to support with their energy they contribute to certainly every day.
Society, yeah. Last question that came up, Stefan, I hate to say that again. What do you think of the global tariff situation? Does that affect, Stapelstein at all? Or?
Yes, we have tariffs, or they hit us, but they don't hold us back. We try to get along with it the best way possible, and to find ways to become more efficient in order to provide our products in the US at a fair price point. So I try to see things and challenges in a positive way. So I hope that the tariffs are maybe a chance for new things to evolve, not repeating ourselves. Not that I support them, but I think we should find a kind of a creative, innovative way to
You're right.
use it as a momentum for positive things and for more sustainable things.
Yeah, Stefan, thanks. I know we maybe went a little bit over time. I'll grab a beer with you if you're ever out here, or if I'm in Germany, right? Is that what you do?
Let's do it. I would love. I've never been to San Francisco, so this is absolutely on my
Oh
travel.
man, I've never been there either, so we're gonna have to
come over. We'll have some beer and pretzels.
Thanks, Stefan.